Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have for you a trash to treasure. I want to always hit the brakes for any piece of wood thrown out. There's just so much you can do with it. So here I went ahead and cut this out like in the shape of a breadboard. I'm gonna go ahead and decoupage it with this lemon napkin. You see me here spreading out some Mod Podge, and then I'm gonna go ahead and lay the napkin right on top. So I did end up taking off any extra layers on the napkin. I'm using the one single layer. I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down and then use a piece of saran wrap just to push it into the wood to make sure there isn't any bubbles. Then I will go ahead and grab a sanding block and I'm gonna go ahead and take off all the excess on the sides of the board. Then going along all the edges, I will see if any of the napkin is lifted up, and then I will go ahead and just add a few more coats of Mod Podge just to make sure that it is all adhered to the board. So next I have this shutter that is broken. I'm just slowly taking pieces off of it for different projects. I go ahead and cut these down. I'm going to go ahead and glue them and add some nails to them, and this is just for added interest. Next up, I'm going to make a little patriotic sign. I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of white chalk paint on this piece of board. Then I'm going to decoupage this napkin that I picked up, I think, at Home Goods. So here you see me adding on the Mod Podge. Then here trying to center it as best as I can. Once you lay the napkin down, guys, it's not going to move. It's going to just tear if you move it. So here you're going to see me start pushing it down with a piece of saran wrap as well, just to take out all the bubbles. And, you know, this is not perfect, but I'm okay with a little bit of wrinkle. Perfectly imperfect to me. So I ended up using my IOD molds. With some resin, I made these two molds that are going to go at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and stamp USA on them. Then using this stamp also from IOD, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it right over the napkin just to add the crackle effect. Oh, look at that gorgeous detail. I just love it. Next up, my husband went ahead and cut out these pieces of board that were thrown out as well. I guess they were used for shelves or something in the garage. He went ahead and cut them out and also routed them for some detail. Then I'm going to go ahead and give them a coat of white paint. He's also helping me here. He's just such a sweetheart. I did 2 coats on each riser, and the little blocks that I used on the bottom, I believe are from Amazon, but I did pick them up at the bins. So on two of the risers, I'm going to go ahead and decoupage this napkin, and I'm also going to use a sunflower one. On the other two, I still wasn't sure at this point what I was going to do. So I start off by taking off all the extra layers on the napkin. I'm going to go ahead and put a thin coat of Mod Podge. Then I'm going to go ahead and start adding on the napkin slowly. I did pull it up a bit. It was a little bit scary that I was going to rip it, but it did okay. This napkin is also picked up at Home Goods, which I would highly recommend going to Home Goods. They have some pretty napkins there. I go quite often because my booth is nearby, so I can go and I pop in there quite often to see what they put out. And same process here, thin coat of Mod Podge, and I'm going to go ahead and use this sunflower napkin on this one. I'm going to go ahead and lay the napkin down. I give it some time to dry, and then I go ahead and sand the excess off with a sanding block as well. Then using my same IOD crackle stamp, I'm going to go ahead and do the same crackle effect to this one. And the black ink I'm using on my stamps here is picked up at Hobby Lobby. So what do you guys think of crackle? Do you love it or hate it? Clearly you can tell I love it. So I did the same process on this riser, and they both got a coat of Mod Podge clear acrylic sealer. So last 2 risers, I decided to give them a coat of antique wax. And using a microfiber towel, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off any excess. And since these are going to be for sale, I do cover top and bottom on the riser. So they're all four were painted white, and these two were both antique wax on the bottom as well. And for the last two risers, I went ahead and decided to add some stamps on them from, I believe it's Antiquities from the IOD stamps. Next on my last project is going to be also a trash to treasure. Using this lamp base that we took apart, it just didn't work anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and make some home decor pieces with them. So I'm going to go ahead and mark where I'm going to go ahead and screw it into the base using this wood round that I also picked up at the thrift store. I'm going to go ahead and screw it onto the bottom to adhere it to the base of the lamp. The reason why I'm using another wood round at the bottom, the hole where the cord went through was a little too big for the screw. So the purpose of the other piece of wood is just to prevent the screw from going all the way through. Then I'm going to go ahead and give it a coat of white paint in the Waverly Chalk in Ivory. For the second part of the lamp, I'm just going to go ahead and give this piece a dry brush. It has a lot of pretty detail on it, so I feel like the dry brush is going to bring all that out. I'm using just a cheap little chippy brush with hardly any paint on my brush. I'm going to go ahead and do the dry brush to make the details stand out. Then once my other piece, I don't let it dry completely. I go ahead and start doing a wet distress. If you let it dry too much, it gets a little bit harder just to get the paint to come off. I'm trying to get as much paint off as I can. I'm just trying to leave it in like the little crevices just to make the detail pop a little bit. So here I'm struggling a little bit. I might have let the paint dry a little too much, but keep wiping away and it'll come off. So both of these pieces, I'm going to go ahead and seal them up with some DIY wax. I'm going to go ahead and put it on both pieces, and using a microfiber cloth, I'm going to go ahead and wipe it back and give them a good buffing. And as we approach the end of this video, please let me know which one was your favorite. And if you like what you see, please subscribe and follow for more, and stay tuned for the end results of all my projects. And I will also be including a link to my website. If I created anything today that you like and was featured on this video today, you can go ahead and follow the link and purchase it there. Again, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.